Hey guys, what's going on? This is Adrian, and you're listening to the Stonerd Podcast on your favorite device. Thanks for listening. Oh man, the most horrific thing just happened to me. So, I was mid-sleep. It was like 4 a.m., and all of a sudden, I feel something bothering me, like on the side of my ribs. And I'm like scratching or whatever, and trying to find out what the hell this is. And all of a sudden, I grab it. And when I grab it and go to toss whatever it is that is bothering me, it feels wet. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? So now I'm fully awake. Because before, as I'm trying to just feel my sheets around, so I'm trying to feel around to see what's bothering me, I'm sort of like half asleep. So I'm not even like paying too much attention, and I have my eyes closed. It's also pitch black. It's like 4 a.m. Again, it's pitch black. I don't see anything. So I'm kind of just like half asleep, feeling around to see what the hell. And when I find something, I grab it and I put too much pressure and it pops. Oh man, that's when I wake up. I go to grab my phone because nowadays people sleep with their phones. I grab my phone and I start shining a light to see what the hell this was that I grabbed. And all of a sudden, like the fear set in that what I must have grabbed was an insect. That's my thing, because I live in a place that gets a lot of insects. I'm not going to go into details, but there's a lot of insects around my house, whatever. So I go to grab my phone and I turn on the flashlight and I just start looking around for this thing. And as I'm looking around to see what it was that I tossed and pinched or whatever, as I go around to do that, I feel something in my mouth. And oh my God, I go to, like out of instinct, I go to spit out something that I might have in my mouth. Because at this point, I don't know if I have something in my mouth. I just feel like I should spit, you know? Like there's nothing crawling in my mouth. I just feel like I need to spit. And so I spit, and I spit something out of my mouth. And it falls on the sheets. And on the sheets, there is a tiny leg. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? This fucking thing is a leg. It's a goddamn leg. Tiny bitty leg. Insect leg. And now I'm thinking, what could be worse? An actual insect in my mouth or a leg? And I'm like, well, it's just a leg. So maybe the thing I grabbed was an insect, and I managed to get it out and kill it and get rid of it. As disgusting as it was, it freaking went all over my hand. At least I killed it. But then again, it's like, did I kill it with my hands, or was it already dead because I took a bite out of it with my mouth while I was sleeping? So now I'm like, what's the worst scenario? Me with a leg in my mouth because half of it I already ate, or was there another insect that I ate and this was just a different insect that I grabbed with my hand? So I don't know what the hell. So I start an investigation. I leave the tiny leg on the sheets and I start looking for the other thing that I grabbed and I tossed away to the side of the bed. So I start looking on the floor for the body of whatever it is that I grabbed. And I do find something, but it's all smoosh, so I don't have an idea. Like, did the leg belong to this one? Like, is it the same insect? Or did the leg belong to another insect, and these are two different insects? And I'm like, oh man, I hope it's the same insect, and I didn't swallow this fucking thing. I don't know if that makes me feel better. Not only that, I also have to go back to bed. So it's like 4 a.m. I don't want to go back to bed. I'm all freaked out now. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I do know that there is like a statistic, like Americans swallow, I don't know how many bugs a year. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but I'm just, it's just not fun. So that's kind of my story for this week. That probably happens more often. I just don't know about it. But this time, like, I was actually present for the whole thing. Like, I couldn't believe what was happening. Like me, half asleep, grabbing this insect and then spitting up a freaking insect leg. Like, I was like, is this freaking real? This is like, it felt like this was the beginning of a horror movie. Like, this is how things start. Like, a guy spits out a bug, and then all of a sudden he looks around and there are thousands of bugs, and now there's some sort of like attack. When the bugs attack, I don't know what the deal is. Now, something like a movie, like I'm describing, did happen a while ago when I woke up, and thankfully none of them were on me. But I woke up and I saw this tiny baby spider just dangling from a web on top of me, like just swinging. As I lay on my bed, this tiny spider was just swinging around on top of me, and I'm like, oh, look at this baby spider. And I didn't make too much of it. I usually don't freak out when I see those tiny spiders that they go like on the corner of your room and they make a web, because I usually think like, oh, that spider is just chilling there hanging, and if there are other bugs just crawling around, they'll just get caught on the web. And that's kind of the cycle of nature, and they actually helping me capture these other bugs that are like nasty, you know what I'm saying? So I'm actually cool with spiders just chilling in one corner, because I think they're just filtering whatever other thing is just crawling around. So I actually don't mind them. So for the most part, I leave them alone as long as they're not crawling towards me or like too big. Because if they get to be too big and they look like black and hairy, then I'm like, all right, let's just get rid of you. But if you're like those tiny white spiders just chilling in one corner, I don't give a damn about them. So when I see this one spider, I'm like, oh, it's just a tiny spider. And I don't freak out. I don't even move from bed. I just stay in bed, just let it hang on top of me, just dangling from my web. It's so close to me that I'm like, I'm gonna have to do something about the spider, but I'll get it when I get up. I'll just stay there in bed. But then all of a sudden, my eyesight start like refocusing, because when you like get up, your eyes are like fuzzy and whatever. Everything looks blurry. So my eyes start to like, refocus and like take in the room as the sun is coming up. And all of a sudden, I see another spider and another and another, then another. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I take a sweep around the room just looking, and there are literally hundreds of these things. There are hundreds of spiders, and I'm like, what the fuck, yo, this is a freaking horror movie. It's literally a horror movie. I couldn't count how many of them there were. That's how many they were. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, what happened here? So I just start swinging. I get like a piece of like cardboard that I had around, and I just start swinging at these things, trying to kill them. And I also find a spray that I have that kills insects. I start spraying that too, and it just becomes like a war zone in there. I'm just going at this thing. And when I kill most of them, I don't think I killed all of them, because when I started swinging and spraying, some of them just went into cracks in the wall. Some of them went behind furniture. And so I didn't kill all of them, but I killed a big number of them. And then all of a sudden, as I'm going around the room, checking to see what happened, I see a huge spider. And that huge spider is not even moving. I think it's just like, either it has no energy to move or it's dead. And then it dawned on me that this big ass spider must have been the mother, and she must have gave birth to all those spiders that morning. And so it's like, oh, that's it. You just freaking came inside here and just blew up and dropped all these baby spiders, because they were really tiny, like so tiny you couldn't almost see them until my eyes refocus. You know what I'm saying? That's how tiny they were. And there were so many of them that I think that's what happened. She must have just like have a belly full of spiders and then go inside the home and just let them loose inside, which is kind of like crazy, like how nature works. But I just wish it didn't happen inside of the house. But yeah, so that's my story. Watch out for bugs. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, back in the island, I'm from Dominican Republic. If you don't know me, I mean, how can you not know me? I mean, only like 3 people listen to this, and most people know me. But if you don't know me, I'm from Dominican Republic, and over there's just so much bugs that a lot of people, they sleep with a net. It's like a mosquito net or whatever, and you just put it over your bed and you sleep underneath it. And the good thing about that is that nothing can get inside. That's something that we don't use here, but back there it's very popular. I mean, I'm not gonna get a net for here, but yeah, that's my crazy story for this week. Now, talking about being Dominican and who's listening to this, I just want to send a shout out to my mother, who's probably listening to this. Hi, Mom. How you doing? What's for dinner? Anyways, I'll talk to you later. You know what's funny? She didn't get any of that because she doesn't know English. That's the commitment that she has. Because I told her about my podcast, and she's like, I'll listen to it. And I'm like, how you going to listen to it? You don't know English. And then she's like, I'll pick up a word here and there. And I'm like, a word? You're going to miss the entire thing. That's not how it works. You need to know the entire language to really enjoy or understand what I'm saying. But you know what? I still like it. She's such a trooper. So shout out to my mom listening right now. Hopefully you pick up a word or two of what I just said. She's definitely going to pick up a lot of the fucks that I say. a bit of fucks, some shits, and a bunch of others in between. So what kind of commitment, right? Just come in and just listen without knowing what the hell is going on. So just sitting there, just listening to this. Like all of these things that I'm saying right now, she's not getting. Yo, like every single thing, she's not getting this. I think that makes it even funnier. Like all these things that I'm saying to you right now, she's not getting. So that's just funny to me. But thanks anyway. And thanks to you. If you are listening to this and you actually understand what's happening and you're choosing to stay, thank you. And if you are a friend of mine and you're listening to this, thank you too. Thanks for hanging in there, even though you don't know where I'm going with this. And thanks to anybody else who doesn't know me, who is listening and comes back every week for more episodes. I'm trying to drop an episode each week, so hang in there if sometimes I'm late. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.